We're in.
What is up?
What is up, Sith Dominion fans? It's your host, not Dr. Dana here,
Not Dr. Oh,
with Debi and Zane. How are we doing tonight, guys?
I'm doing phenomenal. Is this?
Doing good.
There was a way to space it out, but I don't remember how. Is it this? Oh, there we go. Now we can see the names.
Let's go, baby. Well, guys, Dana gave us the keys to the kingdom. Just kidding. We stole it from him.
We stole it from him.
He is not here tonight. You just have the trio tonight. And I'm looking forward to this. I'm not going to lie.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good.
We don't know what we're talking about today at all. We're here to vibe. Debi wants to keep it at least under an hour and a half. I'm game for that tonight.
Honestly, probably, yeah.
Zane really wants to get back to Minecraft, or he may be playing Minecraft, allegedly. No one knows.
Allegedly. No one knows.
No one knows. We don't hear the clicking in the back at all.
At all.
But we're here. We're vibing. Pretty slow in the Star Wars fandom, I'd say, right now. What about y'all? What about y'all?
Yeah, until November. Well, we probably won't even cover that because it's not going to have any Sithy stuff in it.
Skeleton Crew?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I'm optimistic.
It looks pretty good on that front. You know what I mean? Kind of excited. It looks very interesting. I'm excited for the Goonies.
Me too. Stranger Things, Goonies vibe. Can't go wrong. What's up, Andrew? How are we doing? So, I guess tonight we were texting in our Wayfinder, I guess. Is that what we call it?
That's what we call it.
Allegedly, there has been a leak that episodes 10, 11, and 12 are in development at Lucasfilm currently. Headed by a gentleman by the name of Simon Kinberg.
Simon Kinberg. That name should ring some bells.
He's done some good stuff. He's worked on Rebels.
He did work on Rebels. He worked on a lot of the X-Men stuff, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, Dark Phoenix, but we'll give him a pan. You can't always be perfect, guys. Okay.
Nope. The thing about Fox X-Men, the highs were high, but the lows
I don't remember.
Or were very low. Lower than low can be.
Did I read somewhere he also was part of one of the Fantastic Fours?
Oh, which one?
Maybe the bad one.
Oh, no. Oh, no, not that Fantastic Four.
The 2000, was it 15 or something like it?
With Miles Teller, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was all right, but I liked the first one better.
Agreed.
He also, I don't know if he wrote anything because I think that was mostly Sean and Ryan, but he did help with Deadpool, Wolverine, Logan.
Yeah, he's credited for that. Oh, he did The Martian?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, The Martian was really good.
And the first Sherlock Holmes?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm reading is, this may give us some good hope. I mean, it seems like he has a good repertoire of good movies. I don't know how good the recent ones are, but...
See, but here's the thing, though. Are they continuing from... where is this? Is it 2,000 years past Skywalker or
from
Rise of Palpatine or what?
From what we know, the Rey movie is still being made. That's still going to be a thing. So I wonder if it's not going to be the aftermath of her academy.
I'd feel kind of cheated if we saw Rey's Academy only in one movie instead of over the course of at least 1.5, maybe.
I don't know. I've heard two different things. One, that it was gonna continue the Skywalker saga, which she's a Skywalker, so that would make sense. And then I heard something else that it's totally different. So, I don't know. Nothing's been confirmed by Disney or Lucasfilm. Mm-hmm. The one thing I really do like is that he would be doing all three.
I like that.
Hopefully, there's no continuity issues.
That would be nice.
I mean, in 6 months, we'll see an announcement that's like he left the project for creative differences or something like that.
That is very likely. At least, hopefully, she doesn't like announce it, and then it doesn't end up getting made. That's where I think the Rey movie is in. I don't know. On the one hand, I wish they'd do something very far in the future and just give us something new. But I am notorious on the show for saying they're not that creative enough to do something like that. So, I don't know. I'm going to keep it real with y'all, and I'm going to keep it real with everybody too. I'm trying to be more positive about Star Wars stuff because I'm trying to think if I'm more positive, maybe
you'll manifest.
Exactly, Debbie. Maybe if I'm like, you know what, guys, give it a chance. Like Skeleton Crew, I'm like, brother, we got Jude Law and we got John Watts. I mean, I love me some Jude Law, and I love the Spider-Man movies that John Watts did. So I'm hopeful. But I'm really trying to put it out there that maybe Lucasfilm will do something right. I'm also hopeful that maybe we just don't get any Star Wars stuff for 5 years, and the bad taste can just get out of our mouths.
No, because see, I'm old. I could die within that time.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I mean, I think Star Wars content like books and comics should keep going because I love that kind of media, but I definitely think there should be a pause in a lot of the visual media stuff, at least live action.
Well, I mean, we're getting Skeleton Crew TV series, and then we'll get Mando and Grogu in 26.
You're forgetting something, Debbie. Something very, very big is coming out next year. Andor season 2, baby. I'm really excited for that. So I've watched it twice through, Debbie. The first time I had the Kenobi bad taste in my mouth and truly did not give Andor a chance. I just recently rewatched it probably about a month and a half ago, and it is the best Star Wars show that we have gotten, including Mando season 1, in my opinion, from all facets of it. And I am looking forward to season 2 and think that it will be really good, and hope that I would love to see Tony Gilroy attached to this project. I'd love to see him in any form of influence at Lucasfilm personally, but I don't know if he wants that. I don't know if they want that, but I think whatever crew did Andor from a writing perspective needs to be attached to every single Star Wars project.
Now, did you enjoy the slow burn of it? Did you like that?
The first time was rough. I will admit, I do blame that a little bit on Kenobi because I was very disappointed with how that show turned out. It wasn't as rough the second time, but I think it was a little bit easier because I was able to just keep going. Versus week by week, I think that would be a little rough for fans to get through because there's a lot of... It's just a slow burn, like you said. So, but it's good. Like I think
it's spy, it's espionage, it's just so good.
Mm-hmm. And just the dialogue is great. Like it's the first Star Wars show that made me feel something that wasn't reliant on nostalgia, like some of the Kenobi show relied on with the dialogue between Ewan and Hayden. It was just characters made me feel something, and even the main character of the show we know dies, but I'm still hooked into the journey he goes through in the show along with others. So, but
heck yeah, I was maybe gonna watch it for this episode, but then I decided not to.
You're missing out. You're missing out.
I know I'm missing out. I will say I know, but I just don't have time, Very busy days.
Band stuff, Minecraft, busy guy.
Very busy.
I guess, what do y'all want to see from 10, 11, and 12 if we assume they're going to build off the 2 parts? If they build off of the Rey movie, right? And they continue that story based off of the journey Rey goes through in that film. What do y'all want to see? And then if they don't do that, what would y'all like to see?
If they don't base it off of any of the Rey stuff, then I would like to see different villains, or maybe something like we back in the day we were supposed to get something like 1313, Star Wars Underground. I mean, they could do that in any time period. That, or just some different entity, maybe other than Sith, but some other bad.
Yuzan Vong, like random space
or like
in the yeah.
I mean, the High Republic has a group called, and I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but the Nile. And I like them as bad guys. They're totally against the Jedi. They don't think, they believe that everything the Jedi does is like blasphemy and shouldn't be using the Force and all this stuff. And I've read the books. I don't think I've read the most recent one, but I enjoy that kind of villain because there's no, it's just bad guys who really hate the Jedi with a passion.
I feel like with Sith we have some, which I guess this is kind of the issue a lot of us run into with Star Wars. Like we have this like idea or perception of how Sith are supposed to act, or you know what I mean, or how the Star Wars movie villains are supposed to be, and sometimes when they don't, I mean, I know I'm a victim of it, but when they don't act the way that I would anticipate them to act, or we get an adaptation from Legends into the new continuity that doesn't act consistent with what we might think of that villain or character, and then we're like, but we have it'd be like if they adapt the Revan, but we have the Old Republic, like we have SWTOR, we have Knights of the Old Republic, like we have all of that content that shows us how he's supposed to be, right? And then they give it to us and it doesn't hit the mark, but maybe adapting some, like I will say, even playing the Jedi games, I feel like the High Republic has a lot of interesting lore. Now, in trying to read some of the books, like at Barnes and Noble and stuff, it just hadn't hit the mark for me. Probably not giving it's
hit and miss.
Probably not giving it the full chance. Now, I mean, I know Legends is hit or miss. I could not stand Kevin Anderson's Jedi Academy trilogy, and much more am enjoying iJedi as giving me kind of a recap of that, and I feel like it makes more sense. But I think the High Republic has a lot of lore, and I think that would be cool for maybe 10, 11, and 12 to they come back somehow, or they tie it in. I think that'd be pretty neat.
I could see that. I don't know. For me, I think the Rey movie should be about her building the temple, building the academy, starting that back up. I think the trilogy would be amazing if maybe flash forward 10, 20 years in the future, the academy's running strong, and maybe the first movie is about one or two bad eggs that start spreading this dark side, like this thought of switching. And then maybe by the second or third episode, the academy almost splits up into its own like little civil war between dark versus light. I think that would be interesting. Something that hasn't really been done. You could see a lot of, maybe not Sith, but dark side Jedi. You could say they found a holocron or whatever, anything ancient Sith, whatever. But I think that would be pretty different. You wouldn't have to necessarily bring back any ancient Sith. You could bring back the teachings of anyone, cool. I don't know, but I think that would be really interesting for a story where we always have bad guys are taking over the good guys and they have big super weapon. We haven't really seen a war like that since the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where I heard it from, but somebody said the Rey movie it wouldn't be like Luke's Academy, but more in the line of Kenobi, which it didn't make any sense to me when I read it. And I'm not even sure if, of course, everything's rumors, you know, take it with a grain of salt. But I guess it was something that I guess they thought about doing with Kenobi as an academy of some sort, which I don't know how that would work because, you know, he's supposed to be in hiding and watching over Luke. So, but I would like to see if it goes with Rey, see her having all the struggles similar to what Luke did with his academy. Because, I mean, he had a few bad eggs, you know, and a lot of pushback. Not everybody agreed. Always going up against the Senate and whatnot. So it'd be interesting if they kind of went not exactly that route, but if they kind of, you know, show her really struggling with getting the academy going, or even if it's in full phase.
See, one thing, I mean, I'd love to see that too, but one which it's hard, by the way, episode 9 ends, but I feel like we really could see a lot more of her dealing with her lineage, right? And I think that could add a layer to her character, and we could explore that a little more. Like, yes, I've taken the Skywalker name, but deep down, Rey knows who she is, right? And her struggling with the fact of, you know, who her grandfather is, you know. And I would like to see a little bit of that, along with kind of what you said too, Debbie. I think it would be cool to see Rey be a little bit more vulnerable, in my opinion.
Failing.
Kind of. I mean, if we're going to remain consistent with how we've seen Jedi Masters in the movies do with their pupils and such, but I think it would be interesting to see that in the Rey movie, see her start her academy, deal with her lineage and those type of things, and then we go into the sequels, kind of get a little time jump maybe, and then go from there. I think that could be really interesting. Maybe we get Finn as a Jedi. I think that would be cool too.
Her first pupil.
Maybe them going and maybe them, you know, starting the Jedi Academy together in some ways, and them going around to different worlds, different planets, and trying to go find Jedi artifacts to help them learn, help them kind of go through this, you know. Maybe some Force Ghosts training with Luke and Leia to a certain extent. Maybe not Leia, but maybe Luke, you know. Maybe we can have some of that, like we were talking about in first script, episode 9, a couple weeks ago. I know that was a big part of the script, that we were going to see Force Ghost Luke train Rey, but who knows? We'll just have to see if it actually gets made, if the Rey movie even gets made, if Disney sells Lucasfilm. Who knows what could happen?
It would be very interesting Maybe not good, maybe not bad. To see more usage of the world between worlds, whatever that's called, with all the timeline jumping. It sounds stupid, but I feel like if they're gonna use it, they should just go all in.
I
Very
agree,
important.
and I hate it. I did not like that aspect of Rebels. I think Filoni created that just so Ahsoka couldn't die. And I feel like if Ahsoka had died on God, what's that place called?
Was that
Where where her and Vader fought.
Oh.
Lore Master. He's on the way. I feel like that would have been a really good. I mean, knowing we get Clone Wars season 7, right? I guess in hindsight it's 2020, but I think that was supposed to be
Malachor.
But supposedly, I mean, that was supposed to be the end for Ahsoka's story, right? But and again, I like at the end of Rebels, I like the whole Ezra Palpatine world between. Like, I really liked that storyline in Rebels, but I don't like. And I liked Ahsoka and Anakin and the Ahsoka show. I like that whole sequence, but I don't like the concept of world between worlds. And audiences today don't like the multiverse stuff. We're seeing that with, I mean, Debi, I'll talk about it. I mean, with MCU Mondays, I mean, like, people are just kind of over the multiverse stuff. And I know Dave's like, that's not the point of the world between worlds, but Dave, you don't explain it to where it makes it easier to understand, you know? And
maybe that's future plans that he plans on.
I guess
explaining that.
I don't know. That was Rebels when that came out. So it feels like it was a plot device that they used once or twice and then realized they had to keep using it.
Yeah, because like, oh God, we just opened this can of worms that, you know, just
in the kid show anymore.
Yeah, like what? How do we fit this into the narrative? Like, what are we doing here? But I don't know.
Who's to say?
Just a pretty slow time, which I guess can be good if Star Wars. Typically, recently, if Star Wars has been in the news, it's typically not very positive things that are going on. Yeah. So, I guess we're gonna have to take the no news is good news type of deal with Star Wars right now. But
so I can't think of anything else really big. I mean, SWTOR got a graphics update like a week or two ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and that was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, still a great game, and people that haven't tried it out. I mean, MMOs aren't my big thing, but Josiah and I will go through phases of playing that, and it's a lot of fun. Even if you just watch the clips on YouTube and even watch like story walkthroughs of
100%. And it's weird in that game. Personally, I felt like most of the non-Force user storylines were actually better.
Mm-hmm. You know, that's like a consensus, I think, around a lot of the fandom.
Except for the Trooper. The Trooper was bad. Yeah, and I will say that till I.
But it still has a big community a part of it too, which is really cool. And I guess it's one of the only things that's like still started during like Legends time, but is still considered like a part of the overall canon. Right?
It's not canon.
It's not canon?
It's purely Legends, but they're still going with the story. It's the only piece of Legends story that's continuing.
Huh.
Yeah, because Malgus is a person who keeps coming back and coming back and coming back.
But I thought in the timeline that Lucasfilm released, they like have a time set for the Old Republic, and I thought that's where that fit in.
I think they have the time slot set so that people wouldn't cry about it, but the game's not in it. Sadly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wish they'd make a movie in that time period.
That would be good. Well, wasn't that what
trilogy?
Wasn't that what D&D were supposed to do? Benioff and Weiss, Game of Thrones guys. Then they destroyed Game of Thrones and lost it. I'm fairly certain that's what happened.
It would have been cool if they did one about the Jedi.
Aren't they doing that with James Mangold though? The Dawn of the Jedi. I think they are. I think that was one of the movies that was announced.
I guess they are. I don't know. That's a cool, different time.
Which James Mangold did Logan, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
I can vibe with that.
Although he also did the new Indiana Jones.
Oh.
Oh, and the 2013 The Wolverine.
Okay, the first 15 minutes of that movie are pretty good, and then after that, it's just after that they lose me.
He has such an interesting what? So he did The Wolverine, which was the one where he goes to Japan, I think, which was bad. Logan, he did Ford versus Ferrari, which is good, but then did Indiana Jones, which was kind of mid.
I mean, I guess when you do as much,
it's going to be hit and miss. They have, they do good stuff and then they do shitty stuff. So
he did The Greatest Showman. It's such a coin flip with him.
Is there a director out there that even has a
majority good?
I mean, my first instinct would be Nolan, but I mean, he's got to have early films that he did maybe that weren't great. Like Christopher Nolan.
Yeah. I mean, shoot, you even think about something like Quentin Tarantino, and he even has one or two that are just not the mark.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Mm-hmm. Although most of his is really good.
Yeah. I mean, Spielberg's got to have some bad movies, right?
I think he does. We're just looking at movie stuff. Did he do any of? Did he do? Does he?
I think he has a lot more good than what he would bad.
That's Jurassic Park 2. That one was a good one. Did he do Jurassic Park 3? Spielberg is credited for Dial of Destiny, but I don't know if he did that.
I don't know if any of them want to be attached to that movie.
Yeah. Oh no, he did Jurassic Park 3. Okay, never mind.
Talking about Harrison Ford though, man, he loves him some Indiana Jones, but they have just all his characters, man. They have just kind of reset back to.
Yeah.
Or I wasn't a fan of where they took both of his legendary Lucasfilm characters.
We're about to see him as Red Hulk.
Man, they really just
they're just milking him.
They just CGI'd that man's face on the Red Hulk like it's not even. It just looks like a Harrison Ford, much larger in red.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Nothing wrong with that. That's my boy.
Yeah,
been my boyfriend since 75. So
75. Okay, that's a long time though. I mean,
does he know?
Does he?
It's a secret.
She sent him letters. Oh, what's this one? Oh.
Zane, you mentioned comics earlier, and I sent it in the Wayfinder, but we don't have to dive super deep into it. But I've been seeing these comic strips of this the Battle of Jakku.
Mm-hmm.
It's this new Luke comic that's come out, and I've heard it's really good, or it looks interesting to me at least. I
it's
know
a new comic.
Oh, that's right. They were gonna do the Battle of Jakku stuff.
It is, and I know Brian a couple weeks ago when I was on the pod said that. Because clearly we disagreed about the direction they took Luke Skywalker, like most guests and I do. But he said I really should look into it, and some of these panels have piqued my interest. And I've read like probably half or a little bit of the Vader comics that Marvel's and Lucasfilm have done, but. Mm-hmm. It seems this Battle of Jakku stuff seems interesting to me. Maybe it'll do good about filling in the gap between 6 and 7. potentially.
Hopefully, it looks, from what I've seen, it looks really good. Obviously not as good as the Thrawn comics, because
Amen, brother.
Best character in the series. I don't care what anyone says. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I remember we talked about it when it was first announced.
Mm-hmm. It's so interesting to me how, which I know it's so much easier to portray emotion, dialogue. It's a little different just in book and comic form, but it's just amazing to me the creatives that they can get to do these books and these comics, and they just haven't been able to translate it to the big screen, you know?
Yeah, I don't know if they could, though. I'm just thinking it's a lot easier to do a lot of these very cool and epic moments in a comic book. Same thing with the animated stuff. I mean, a lot of us can agree that the animated stuff that's been put out for Star Wars, even recently, other than Tales of the Empire. Well, even Tales of the Empire was better than Book of Boba Fett.
Oh yeah, well it's not that hard. That Book of Boba Fett's
I mean,
absolutely horrendous.
Look at all the animated stuff they put out, and it's been better than a majority of the live action. It's just easier to do all those cool moments. It's kind of sad.
I don't know.
Which begs the question.
Maybe Lucasfilm needs to kind of do like what Marvel has done. You know, Marvel has taken their movies based off of various comics, tweaked them a little bit to make them different so that you don't know exactly what's coming. Maybe they need to do that with the Star Wars comics and
I think
reiterate them for movies or TV shows or whatever.
That'd be cool, except for Marvel is known for having that multiverse, and it was confirmed that the movies are different than the comics. But as far as we're aware, most of that, at least in canon now, most of them follow the same timeline. Although they have done that before. I mean, you look at the Ahsoka book versus the Tales of the Jedi.
Mm-hmm. Dave just loves retconning like good books.
Mm-hmm.
Which in his mind, which he takes George literally, where he says the books and everything are all secondary. The TV shows and the movies are considered the primary source of canon.
Mm-hmm.
I just think they have missed. It's not me trying to harp on the sequels, but I feel like they just missed the mark so bad on 7, 8, and 9. And it's a shame that like a good comic like the Battle of Jakku, which is filling in the gaps between 6 and 7, might go under the radar, right? Because we didn't get something like that in 7 or even 8, you know? And it's kind of a shame that I think in some ways they missed the mark so badly that let's just say 10, 11, and 12 is, or even the Rey movie, let's just say it's all great. Like overall consensus is these are like, this is a good ass movie, get your ass in the seat type. Like this is an event, like it's a Star Wars movie, right? Like it's like, you know what I mean? But like people like just,
they
don't care anymore. Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
He's here.
Papa's watching us.
Ban him, chat. Get this guy out of here. Get this guy out of here. Get him out. Fake Dana Martin in chat.
I mean, what could be like entirely possible is if they wanted to, they could turn it into a series. Which, I mean, that's what we have to hope for at this point. something like Battle of Jakku, which sounds like very crucial Star Wars content. It needs to be in the in the media.
I would love it to be animated.
Animated.
I would love all Star Wars media that is on Disney Plus to be animated, and anything that is not, anything that's going to be live action. Peace, Mr. Emperor. Your empire is now ruled by the three of us.
Yes, the triumvirate.
He no longer rules with an iron fist. We are free to do what we want. We could end this podcast now. No one's going to say nothing. It's 8:40. It's 8:41 here. 9:41 where Debbie's at. We're chilling. We still got the evening. But anyways, live action needs to be in the theaters. They're going to invest more money in the project, which is going to result in a higher quality project that we'll get, and then we can, if you want to watch, if you want to be a Disney Plus subscriber, watch a piece of content that maybe delves deeper into the lore, but it doesn't. You're still able to go watch the films on the big screen and not feel like you miss anything. That's where the animated shows come in, because you can still watch 1, 2, and 3 and follow the story, even if it's not the most perfect story. It still tells a story. And then if you want to go learn about the Clone Wars while paying $9.99 or whatever it is, because they keep raising the price. Speaking of which, you charged me twice this month, Hulu. Anyways, they then you can go watch that, and it fills in the gaps. You maybe create a deeper attachment to the characters, but it's not necessary to keep up with. Kind of like with what Marvel's doing, or was doing. Maybe they'll get away from it to a certain extent, but I don't know, man. I just want good stuff. I think good stuff will put people in the seats, whether it's on their couch or the big screen. But I love going to the movies. It's one of my favorite things that COVID took away from us, and I miss it.
I don't.
I miss it.
I still have to go see Venom for MCU Monday.
Oh, have fun with that. I saw the first two in theaters, and the second one was a hoot.
Yeah, that one was it. That one was.
Yeah. I saw Woody Harrelson kissing someone, and I couldn't. That was not a sight I wanted to see.
I love the first one. The second one was meh. It was all right.
That is a red one.
I just love Tom Hardy. I'm sorry.
Just a good actor. Tom Hardy, Star Wars?
Just trying to build this spider villain verse with no Spider-Man. Like, what are you doing, Sony? Like, at least give us, like, okay, Kevin Feige doesn't want to give you Tom Holland. Fine. Well, then pay Andrew Garfield $100 million or whatever you got to pay him, and come let him just be Spider-Man in the movies.
Well, they left the open. I know this isn't MCU stuff, but they left an opening for it in one of the end credit scenes. Whenever Venom gets zapped back, there's like a little part of him left.
I've heard it gets retconned in this new movie fairly quickly.
That's stupid.
Supposedly, allegedly, not confirmed. I do like to spread misinformation.
We do spread misinformation on this podcast,
but
it's the Sith way.
I'm only allowed to do that because the Emperor is not here to not allow me to do that.
Mm-hmm. The triumvirate back, baby.
We are free. We are free.
Now, is he on a business trip or is he just lollygagging?
I think he's just on a cruise.
I think he's on a vacation.
A well-needed one, though.
Yeah, he looked pretty tired. You know, man needs a break.
And what I would like to see animated is go back to Sith lore from the beginning, animated style.
What do you mean by beginning? Like from when the Dark Jedi potentially met the race of the Sith, or you know what I mean?
I'm not picky. I mean, just really
Anything.
do a deep dive into the lore of the Sith, where they came from, how they came to be. La, da, da, da.
Yeah,
like a Bad Batch 12 episode season, or like a 8-episode animated where we don't get the 3 to 4 filler episodes. What are you feeling?
No, I don't want 8 episodes. I want like Clone Wars, where there's several episodes.
Fair.
Brandon,
I
mean, that would be cool.
We are having a fantastic night. We are free from Dr. Dana. I'm going to keep reiterating that we are free. The shackles
we are free.
Are unbound.
Through victory, our chains are broken.
Amen, brother.
That would be cool. Right there. A show, just a little, maybe like a mini series, just about how that came around. Later on, obviously, once more of the Old Republic gets fleshed out. I think we're all itching for just Old Republic / just like ancient content.
I'm itching for a good movie, brother. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't even care in what facet we get it. I want a good movie.
I mean, like the whole Revan storyline can take up a trilogy easily.
They could get Keanu Reeves in that, and I would probably watch that movie 100 times.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even care if it's bad. I've seen every
Matrix. I feel like they do it justice, though. I feel like I know I'm gonna regret saying that once they make it, but I feel like they do it justice. I feel like there is, on this specific subject, if they did this character, there's so much of this character's story already fleshed out that they have to do it right. Right?
Depends on if they use it or not, or if they go the route of there's no source material for them to follow.
Or they make Revan a girl because they can. That'd still be cool.
Now you're getting political, brother.
No, I think that'd still be cool. But different character. It's not the exact same.
But give her Darth Revan's storyline.
Yeah, I make her hot.
There's my guy. They would not make something so cool. Josiah, bro.
You're
probably right, but we're taking the positive route. Because if we put it out there, maybe they'll do something good.
It's so weird because usually I'm the positive one. It's just throwing me off. I feel like I need to be evil or something.
They're gonna back into a corner.
I think you should
and release the best thing ever. Okay, it's what happened with Andor. They're gonna be backed into a corner and just will be forced to make a good piece of Star Wars media.
I'm gonna level with you here. I don't think they were backed into a corner with Andor. I think they just had somebody that actually knew what they were doing and were passionate behind the content they were making, and just kind of were like, this is good, you know. And they actually had like a well-rounded cast of actors and actresses and all that. But yeah, I don't think Josiah likes the race or the gender swap for Darth Revan, brother.
I mean, who's to say? I'm just saying. I think I'm putting that idea out there. You know, if Disney's listening, you know, contact me. I got ideas. No, but I think for like Old Republic stuff, I think it's what a lot of this fandom is kind of concluded. Like, if we go back that far, it really does need to delve on either like Revan or Bane or like something along those lines. I don't know. Those Sith are so in the Star Wars media that to not have them canon at all.
Bane is.
Yeah, because he was in Clone Wars, sort of.
I thought he was in a deleted scene in Clone Wars.
No, I think it's an actual scene.
Yeah, it's when Yoda's
tweaking on something.
Because that was with the Wills. I remember that thing, but
here's a real question: fan cast for Darth Bane.
Oh, what age? What are we looking at?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Tom Hardy.
That's what I was. That was my pick because we were just talking about him earlier. I'm like, does Tom Hardy? I mean, I feel like he has.
Think so.
I feel like he has the range to do Bane. I just think he might maybe be a little old.
You think he'd be too
How old
old?
is he?
Is he late 40s?
I mean, he did do other Bane, so it would be funny.
Yeah, meme right there.
Who's the guy? How old is he? The guy that he was in Kingsman as like the bald guy. He sang Country Roads. He'd be cool.
He's 47, Tom Hardy.
Oh.
He's just a puppy.
Or I'd say Glenn Powell. I'm just thinking.
No.
We need someone.
No.
I mean, we need someone younger, right? But they can't be too built. I don't think Bane was really that built. I know in the book originally he was having a hard time dueling. It was only later that he got good. I don't know. I'm just saying.
God, why does this person have Jensen Ackles as Darth Bane? I feel like that would be terrible. Jared Leto. Oh my God, that's gross.
No.
Is it gross? Is it gross?
Alan Richardson? Reacher? I feel like he might be a little too swole though. I feel like it'd be hard to see him go through the.
I always pictured Bane as being a big burly guy.
He shouldn't. He should be someone maybe tall, but not.
I feel like Alan Richardson would be a good Malgus.
Oh yeah.
Super tall and intimidating, and just absolute massive man.
Okay, hypothetically. Nah, never mind.
Zane is about to give us the worst fan cast of all time, bro.
Okay. I don't know where to put him, but I want to see McAvoy in Star Wars.
I love James McAvoy.
Malik?
That's what I was thinking. Malik would be an amazing pick for him. Could you imagine McAvoy as Malik and Keanu Reeves as Revan? That'd be crazy.
Could he be Bane?
I don't think he could be Bane.
Why not?
I just don't think he has the. I don't know. I don't think he has that. He doesn't scream Bane. He screams Malik for sure.
I want to see Michael Fassbender in Star Wars.
Michael Fassbender.
Sam Witwer. I have been begging for him to be in a live action show, Star Wars.
See, but Debbie, I feel like this goes back to my point earlier. We have this.
Bring back Star Killer.
Yeah, like that's what everybody's gonna say. He could be the most badass solo every Sith in the Old Republic Jedi. Right, they could make him Grand Master of the Old Republic Jedi Order, and there would people be like, "But that's Star Killer." But you're like,
but that's their problem, not mine.
So what if
problem?
What if he is like kind of like Old Republic-ish, right? And that's where they get the name of Star Killer Base. He's like a Sith, so like it's edgy, and Kylo's like, I want this. That'd be cool.
I mean, he's such a Star Wars fangirl, and I just love him to death. I really want to see him not in a stormtrooper or whatever, little things like here and there.
Actual character. I mean, he's a good
actual character.
Person. Like, he could totally be a villain.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted to.
Oh yeah, easily.
Oh,
he could be Bane.
I'd allow him to be Bane. He'd do Bane justice.
I feel like he'd understand what the character needs. Mm-hmm. I'd love to see Matt Smith as young Palpatine. I feel like I know he was rumored to be in Rise of Skywalker in some capacity. That was like a off the wall rumor though. That was when I was like, how is this movie going to make me not want to throw up? And jokes on me, it still did. But I would like to see young. I think Matt Smith could do young Palpatine justice.
Yeah, let's get a Palpatine.
Let's get all the doctors.
Origin story.
That would be good. Literally, just take all the high points of the Darth Plagueis book and just go from there. Honestly, just make the book. Give James Luceno however much money.
Just write a new book. Don't call it Plagueis. Call it Palpatine. Or just something like that. Kind of like
Sheev.
What they did with Thrawn. Sheev. That would be cool.
Hey, what movie are you going to see? Yeah, we're going to see Star Wars. Sheev.
A Sheev story.
Everyone's like, what is that, bro? Oh, what's another good fan cast?
I mean, I can see a Dark Council and just the heads of a lot of the recent Doctors being just evil Sith that all get decapitated in the end. Like David Tennant, he's like a perfect old geezer in power.
Bro's getting way too multiversy for me tonight.
What do you mean multiversy? This is the Dark Council.
Oh, who's another? Even better. Director you would like to see do a Star Wars trilogy.
Director. Who directs?
I already have mine.
Go for it.
Nolan. I think Nolan. I think he could do the Old Republic justice, but knowing him, I feel like he'd love to make something from scratch. Maybe something. I feel like Nolan could do a 10, 11, 12 set 2,000 or 1,000 years in the future. I feel like he could do something that would make it pretty captivating.
Really, I think he'd be really good at doing something like a 1313 style, where it's that more gritty, something that you can do a lot more without all those effects that I know he hates. It'd be really cool. I was gonna say, keep me on here. For one movie, do a James Cameron.
Oh no!
I think the way he has done
on this one,
it would take 20 years for that movie to come out.
The way he has done the visuals in Avatar, I think it would look amazing on a Star Wars planet.
That brother would be 100 by the time the second film came out. He would.
That's why I said one movie.
His brain would be AI, bro. He would be directing from a tripod on wheels with his brain is just
Stephen Hawking style.
Yeah, it's just in a box, bro. But
I think that would look really good.
I'd say depending upon how John Watts does on Skeleton Crew, I could get down with the John Watts. I feel like John Watts could do a Young Jedi Knights trilogy or something, kind of like what they did in Legends with the twins and Anakin. I feel like John Watts could do a little story like that, and I think that'd be really interesting. Which I guess kind of could be Skeleton Crew, but they're all you know what I mean. They're all Jedi. I think that would be cool to see.
What about, at least for one movie, Bryce Dallas Howard?
I have liked most of the stuff she's done in the Mandoverse, I guess, if that's what they call it. And I think she understands, which is such a weird thing to say when it comes to Star Wars, but I think she understands the weight and the she understands the importance of the Star Wars stories, in my opinion, and she actually feels like she cares about making something good.
Matt Reeves.
Matt Reeves wouldn't be that bad.
I think he would too. I think he kind of falls in the Nolan category of how much does he want to go in on special effects, and what's his more grounded story. What's a I think a Matt Reeves bounty hunter series would be pretty intriguing to me.
Adapted from Sator.
That'd be cool. Yeah, Matt Reeves is I don't understand. I haven't watched The Penguin. I've been waiting for it all to come out in one time because
it's really good.
It's amazing.
I know.
It should be out by now, right?
Yeah,
it is. Sunday was the last episode.
I'm planning on getting that started this weekend, but I am a lover of the Batman. Like, that is probably one of my the most favorite movie I've seen in
really
5 years.
Have you seen the Batman? It's really good.
I wasn't a fan of it.
Dude, we were sitting in those D-box seats, dude, in Cinemark before he gets in the Batmobile for the first time. And I had my thing turned down like halfway, and I could like feel it start rumbling, before the camera pans over to it. And dude, my seat was at halfway on the volume thing, and I'm like rocking once he starts revving up the Batmobile, and I just get chills all the time thinking about it. Like it literally felt like I was watching. I love the Arkham games. I mean, Batman's probably my most favorite superhero of all time, and that movie just felt so Batman to me, like in all areas.
I think you'll enjoy The Penguin because it's dark, it's gritty, it's so good. Where the hell did he go? Did I offend him? But yeah, the Penguin is amazing. I that's kind of why I suggested him to do a Star Wars movie, because he did so well with the Batman and with the series. There was not a bad episode in that whole series. It was great.
I've seen like the first couple of them, and they were really good. Even the effects they used, like, it was just an insane series.
I still have a hard time believing that's Colin Farrell under there.
It's so weird. Yeah, no, I think if I had an interesting director, maybe in my opinion, it'd be Francis Lawrence. He's the one who did the Hunger Games. Okay. I think a lot of the issues with those movies came down to they just didn't adapt the book as good. But I think directing overall was really good. Like the way.
See, I've never read the books, but I enjoy the movies. I'll watch them at least once every couple of years. I'll go through the whole.
Yeah, he did all four of those. I Am Legend, which was pretty good in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Constantine with what's his name, which was pretty good in my opinion. Some people didn't like it.
Keanu?
Yeah.
I love that movie.
It was a good movie.
People don't like it?
It's got like a 46 on Rotten Tomatoes.
No, actually, that's a character that Keanu would like to go back to.
Mm-hmm. I remember reading about that.
I'm all for it.
I think that guy, I mean, he hasn't directed a lot of movies, but the ones he has been pretty damn good. Even the new one, he directed the new one as well. Hunger Games, that is.
Oh yeah, that was pretty good. I enjoyed that.
I enjoyed that one a lot. It was pretty similar to the book as well. This is kind of weird with that game. Yeah, I don't know. I had another pick, but I forgot it. It is what it is.
I think it'd be interesting to have maybe not a movie, but I'd like to see Spielberg do a series.
Yeah. That would be interesting. I don't know. I don't know if Spielberg would match the Star Wars vibe anymore. Which is sad. I think he's really good, but I just
I think he could.
He might. I mean, he did really good with Jurassic Park and everything, right? I wish Kubrick was still alive. That would be cool. A Kubrick Star Wars movie? Come on.
I don't know. Maybe if he did like
shit. Because they had the horror.
Death Troopers.
Yes. Death Troopers. I'm just saying. That'd be cool. I want to see Timothy Zahn as a writer on a Thrawn series. I think there's so much. I don't know if you've read the books, like the new ones. But
yeah.
All of them with Chiss Ascendancy.
Yes.
Heck
I've read all the Thrawn
books. I want to see that. Like the stuff that happens with Thrawn in between, like the original trilogy. That's cool. But I really loved whenever it dove back into his past with the Chiss Ascendancy. It was a whole part of Star Wars that we had never seen. And it was so cool. It gave me a little flutter of the heart. But I mean, that would be a cool series. That'd be a cool series to do animated.
Yeah.
Like Tales of the Chiss. I don't know. I will say I just find it really I found it really cool that he was it the second book, Thrawn Alliances or something. It's with him and Vader, right? It's on the cover. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
And it discusses about him and Anakin meeting back during the Clone Wars. And then I loved how they brought that back in. It's got to be the first book, right? First Chiss Ascendancy book. It's either the first or second. And they literally recall that exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why this is the best Star Wars author, IMO. He carried Star Wars for a while. Welcome back, Cameron. I mean,
I'm
not
back.
Dr.
Sorry, my in-laws stopped by. Had to say hello. Had to say hello.
Oh, is that a Cowboys cup?
No, it's not. It's not.
It's okay. I have
no Cowboys fan here, brother.
I have a Saints shirt over there. It is not a good year, just in general.
Okay, I used to be a Cowboys fan back in the day, way back.
I still am. I still am.
Jerry Jones is the emperor. If there's anyone that embodies darkness, evil, set in their ways, emperor, iron fist mentality, it is Jerry Jones.
What kills it for me is that was Dak Prescott saying like we suck. You can see him like lip. Oh my gosh, that was crazy. That was before he like pulled or tore or broke something and is now. Not that it matters. They weren't gonna make it to playoffs.
Yeah, we need a tank for the number 1 pick.
What is it? 3-6 now.
Mm-hmm. No, it's 2-6.
3.
2-7 or something.
We've won 3.
Who do we beat?
It was the first. I think we won 1, lost 1, won 1, won 1, and then it's been all lost since. Or we won 1, lost 1, won 1, and then it's been all lost since. It was at the very beginning of the season. Yeah, Saints have won 3 times maybe now. I think we're about tied. Saints are tied with Cowboys now in score. That's all I care about.
Yeah, Cowboys are 3-6. Okay.
Yeah.
They should lose. They should lose more.
They should. Ticket prices will go down. I can finally go and see them.
No, Jerry Jones is evil. He's never going to lower those prices down.
Yeah.
I will say though, Woods and I, my wife, we toured AT&T Stadium when we stayed in Dallas for a weekend, and that was a fun time. I'm not gonna lie.
At the end of the day, they're still in the NFL and they're still the best of the best.
No. No.
No.
They went downhill once they hired Tony Romo.
Agreed. I think Tony Romo was the fall of the cat. Well, no,
It was because they kept him on and he kept sucking and they kept him on and he kept sucking and then they kept him on.
Well, I mean, how many Super Bowl appearances have the Cowboys had since Jerry Jones took over?
They won 3
since Jerry Jones. I didn't think he.
Yeah, because he bought it. He bought it in the late '80s, and then they went on that run, and then
that's right.
And then they fired Jimmy Johnson, and it's all been Well, Bill Parcells won, but I mean it was Jerry's team or it was Jimmy's team, pretty much same dudes, but.
R.I.P. It's just been downhill. Regardless, Tony Romo, he knows what he's talking about. He looks like an idiot on field sometimes. Throwing interceptions, yelling at receivers for not catching them.
He was just he was mid, but his highs were.
He was like Dak.
Pretty high, but he was just mid.
He was kind of, well, I guess Dak technically was better. At the start of the season, I mean, Dak had the same stats as Mahomes. He just sucks at clutching it up. And anyways, to bring it back to Star Wars, Dak is basically like Kylo Ren. Can't catch a break.
Ooh.
Can't catch a break.
That's a tough one right there.
Who is Dak? Who in the Cowboys is like Star Wars characters? You know. Could you say Dak is like Luke? Just trying his best. Hey.
All right, guys. We're gonna call it there. Thank you for tuning in to episode 59 of the Sith Dominion.
Luke was the savior of the Jedi, and then failed horribly after a while. Dak came in. He was doing good.
See, Dak failed because he's terrible. Luke failed because of bad writing.
In the writing, which made him terrible.
Technically. I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't recognize this as canon.
And that's what Star Wars is up here.
It's my own canon. It can be whatever I want it to be.
If I want Chewbacca to dance in a movie, he will in my head.
Well, I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm going to be Debbie's favorite person for the next week. I think, gang, this has been fun.
Very chill.
We don't have Mr. Emperor ruling with an iron thumb, saying we got to follow the outline, even though he didn't follow the outline.
There was an
outline for this week?
No, we didn't, because we're not under his rule.
Not under his thumb.
Because I was like, I thought this show was like a last minute thing.
We're literally in the Wayfinder. I'm like, we're just vibing. There's no agenda, no nothing.
We talk Star Wars for about 2/3 of it.
Yeah. And then we go off on tangents, and that's what makes podcasting fun. Any closing thoughts, gang?
I will say, December 27th, Dripping Springs, Texas. I'm playing a gig out at Hudson's on Mercer Street. Stop by. It's only like $10 to get in. It'll be a rowdy time.
Zane may buy you around.
Legally can't. Legally, that is some misinformation.
Zane's buying around. He's buying me around.
Y'all are paying me because we get paid per person. So,
nice.
Everybody. Yeah.
What about you, Debbie?
Well, let's see. We're doing a cantina happy hour. I just don't know what we're doing because nobody can make a decision.
Just get up there, Andrew. If you're listening, brother, just get up there and vibe. We had fun tonight. We kept it under 2.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Thank the Lord.
And just vibe. That's what's fun.
Yeah. Hey, Debbie, what are all those shows that are happening this week down at this YouTube channel right down here?
Okay, today's Tuesday. Okay, so Wednesday we have
Tuesday.
Well, I had a 4-day weekend, so my days are all messed up. Wednesday, we have an episode of War of the Stars dropping tomorrow. Thursday, as I said, Cantina Happy Hour. I have no clue. Friday, it's not on Feast of Fandoms, but I'm usually over on the Geek and I podcast doing Federation Fridays, where we're talking about the original series.
Ooh, heck yeah.
Saturday is Geek Gauntlet. They talk about everything. Monday, MCU Monday, and we will be talking Venom, as far as I know. The latest movie.
Heck yeah. Can't wait to check those out.
Yeah.
I'm literally going to say, I've said it multiple times, Cantina Happy Hour is the coolest ass podcast name I've seen in relation to Star Wars. I'm not going to lie to you.
It's almost as cool as the Sith Dominion. Almost.
See, I think I'm gonna tune. See, a lot of the times the MCU Mondays, I just don't keep up with the Marvel stuff as much, and so it's like a lot of times I'll like listen to y'all and just like I'll just have it on, not like interact with chat as much, and just catch up with what's going on in Marvel because I don't know if I can sit through like She-Hulk and some of the garbage that they put out. I rather listen to like y'all and other YouTubers talk about the content than even just consume it, because I'm like, I can get all the information I need to go see like Deadpool or Deadpool and Wolverine or whatever, which is kind of sad because
I'm very excited for Daredevil next year.
Me too.
Right.
I'm so excited. I cannot wait for that.
I hope it's like the movie.
Is this the third try? Because
it would be a third technically. Same actor though as the other series, right?
Because didn't they do like half of the show and they test screened it and it was like god awful, and so then they were like, oh, we're gonna bring everyone back that did the Netflix show.
Well, Charlie was in when they were doing originally it was going to be like a reboot.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just going to be Charlie and I think Vincent D'Onofrio, but Karen and Foggy was not going to be in it.
What?
Yeah. And I don't know what happened. I don't know if Kevin Feige stepped in and said, no, this is bullshit. People want what was on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is a continuation from what I gather. So
what
I'm
I will
excited. Vincent D'Onofrio, holy hell, what a guy. Love him. Yeah. Charlie Cox is great, and they're bringing Foggy and Karen back. So yeah, getting the gang all back together again. Well, I'm very excited.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 9 episodes long. So that's small.
Well, if it's done as well as like the Penguin,
it can be that.
I'm fine. I mean, I miss what Netflix used to have, 16 episodes or something like that. Yeah. But if it's as well done as what the Penguin has been, I'm fine.
I feel like 10's a good sweet spot. 10. I feel like Game of Thrones. I feel like Game of Thrones had that down. 10 to 12 is pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I got, gang. An hour and 15 minutes. Maybe one of the shortest episodes of Sith Dominion history.
No, there was a couple 49 minutes at the very beginning.
The very beginning, I think we had a 30-minute one.
Could be. Because I was like looking at that, I was like, why can't I have a show like that? Where it's like
we were still trying things out. That was back when there was like it's gonna be a 30-minute podcast.
But this has been fun. Yeah. Maybe if the Emperor comes back and takes a hold of his throne, we won't let it happen. It may just be us three again.
The Emperor's gonna come back, just like
we may not be able to have Streamlabs Pro if he doesn't come back. But anyways, it's been a great show. Not a whole lot going on in the Star Wars world, but I like just vibing with y'all tonight. I feel like Dana in this context would flourish, but he's gotta have his outline. He's gotta do whatever. Just get on here and vibe, Dr. Dana.
The vibe.
But Zane, how about you do the outro since you're our lore master?
No. Anyways, kids, remember, peace is a lie. There is only passion. Good night, folks.
Good night.
Did we have a wrong title on the?
It didn't end. Hey guys.